This is either going to be a bad season or a great season for your 2024 Minnesota Vikings without there being a chance of anything in between. And I think it's going to depend on Sam Darnold because I fully expect for him to be the starter the entire year until I see otherwise. Even if JJ McCarthy just knocks everybody's socks off in training camp and KOC deems for him to be the starter, whether it's at week 1 or sometime mid-season, he's going to go through some growing pains. What we saw from CJ Stroud last year, taking his Houston Texans team to the playoffs his rookie year, that's more of an anomaly. To put those sort of expectations on McCarthy as if he's going to come out swinging right out of the gate, hitting bombs left and right, I think is going to be a little bit unfair to the Michigan product. It's going to depend on Sam Darnold. Which version are you going to get? The guy who he has been his entire career, in which case, when he's been the QB1, he's the guy, and he's played at least 10 games or more. That's 4 seasons between 2 different teams, a 60% completion rate. He's thrown nearly as many interceptions as touchdowns, 54 scores to 52 picks. He's been sacked 133 times. Not great. If we get that version of Sam Darnold, hey, we're talking about a 5-win team or worse, a top 5 pick in next year's draft, which, hey, thank goodness for Kwesi after the Patriots trade offer didn't get accepted by New England. Thank goodness that Kwesi was able to protect next year's first-round pick, but it's going to be bad. But he's never had a supporting cast like this before. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, goodness, Aaron Jones as the running back. The interior offensive line is going to struggle, but he's got 2 legit bookend tackles and Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill. The defense I think is going to be solid, middle of the pack. The interior defensive line I think is going to hurt us again, but being led by Brian Flores, you can only go up from there. Can he have a 2017 Case Keenum type of year? So for this schedule, now that it's officially out, I'm going to give my predictions in 2 different categories. Regular Sam versus Super Saiyan Sam. It's one or the other. Starting with week 1 at the Giants. Daniel Jones stinks. That's my scouting report. Against regular Sam, it's going to be a QB mid-off showdown. In which case, I do believe the Vikings will win this game. It will just be close as hell. Maybe, let's say, 17-14 Vikings against Super Saiyan Sam. Oh, the Vikings win this game by at least 2 scores. Week 2, hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Whether it's regular Sam or Super Saiyan Sam, either way, you're going up against the reigning NFC champions. I don't think the Vikings are ready for that. They've got superstars on both sides of the ball. Too much to overcome. They're going to get punched in the mouth. That's going to be an L. Start the year 1-1. Week 3 against the Houston Texans at US Bank Stadium. I think this will be a loss either way. Against regular Sam, the Vikings will get their doors blown off of their own building. Against the genie in the bottle Sam, I think it could be a tight race, high scoring, lots of points, but the Texans will win that game. So the Vikings start the year 1-2. Week 4 on the road at Green Bay. Not quite a must-win situation at 1-2 here, but you're right there at the threshold. The doors are knocking. I'm going to say Super Saiyan Sam gets it done. He pulls off the upset and gets this season back on track. Throws a couple of touchdowns, both against Jair Alexander, Justin Jefferson, and Jordan Addison. They both score on him. They win this game. Against regular Sam Darnold, they lose. So we've got 1-3 or 2-2 at this point. Week 5, the New York Jets in London. The Jets, they've got a great defense, and the interior defensive line led by Quinnen Williams is going to be too much for the interior offensive line of Minnesota to overcome. This is against regular Sam an easy L, but against Super Saiyan Sam, he wants to get revenge. The team that drafted him and did him dirty didn't give him a fair chance to fully blossom into this version of what we're seeing right now in Minnesota, kicking all sorts of ass. Vikings get the win. So now we're either 1-4 or 3-2. Week 6 is the bye week. Week 7, hosting the Detroit Lions. Super Saiyan Sam, he's riding a 2-game win streak. ESPN, all the major networks are talking about the Vikings. Are they on the rise? Are they the surprise team? He's got the hot hand right now. I think he gets it done at home. You got the support of the fan base, skull chants galore. They win this game. Regular Sam, they lose easily. I mean, the Lions are a legit team. They were just in the NFC Championship game. So you're either going to be 1-5 or 4-2 through your first 6 games. Week 8, primetime, Thursday night football at the LA Rams. I think either way, this is going to be an L. Darnold, he cools off a bit, especially on primetime, on the road. Matthew Stafford's going to go off with both Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Too much for the Vikings. They're going to take the L. So they are either 1-6 or 4-3 at this point. Week 9, hosting the Indianapolis Colts. I think this is going to be a win either way. Anthony Richardson is still a raw product. He got hurt last year coming out of Florida. I wasn't really high on him. Can he take care of the football? Can he be accurate? I think we still need to find out who he is as a quarterback and whether it's regular Sam or Super Saiyan Sam. I think the Vikings, they get this win. They're either 2-6 or they're 5-3. Week 10 at Jacksonville, Duval County. Trevor Lawrence easily outplays regular Sam Darnold, but if Darnold plays lights out, I think the Vikings are a much better team in that scenario. The Jaguars, they lost Calvin Ridley. They don't have receivers. They drafted Brian Thomas Jr. out of LSU. Okay, we'll see what he's about. They've got Evan Ingram at tight end and Travis Etienne. I think the Vikings win this game with a really good Sam Darnold. So I'm going to say regular Sam, they are now 2-7. Super Saiyan Sam, they are now 6-3. Week 11 at Tennessee. The Titans, they're rebuilding, and that's assuming if you feel that the Titans were at the peak at any point. But Will Levis, can you get at least a 60% completion rate sub last year? They don't really have a good supporting cast. You got Calvin Ridley, who's not very good as a wide receiver 1. Tony Pollard, he's decent, but the Vikings, they win this game. If Sam Darnold is regular Sam, then I can see them losing this game simply just by being on the road. So I'm going to say through their first 10 games, at this point, regular Sam, the Vikings are 2-8. Super Saiyan Sam, they are now 7-3. Week 12 at Chicago. I think it's safe to say at this point in the season, week 12, Caleb Williams will have hit his groove, and especially on the road at Soldier Field, NFC North Division battle. Doesn't matter how Sam Darnold plays. I'm going to say that the Vikings will lose this game. So at this point, you're either 2-9 or 7-4. Week 13, hosting the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Vikings, regardless of Darnold's play, they get the win. They're going to be at home. The Cardinals have a lot of holes on their roster. Sure, Marvin Harrison Jr. can go off for a couple of scores, but I think the Vikings, they'll win this game outright. You're either 3-9 or you are 8-4 at this point. Week 14, hosting, oh my God, the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins, will he get his revenge game? It's a regular season non-primetime game, so versus regular Sam, Kirk Cousins should go all the way off and the Falcons would win by at least 2 scores. However, versus Super Saiyan Sam, hey bro, I know I'm the bridge quarterback, and some people look at me as the guy that's in the shadows of what Kirk Cousins left behind. I'm gonna prove all the doubters wrong. This is a big game for me too, because if I don't have a great year, My career as a starter is over with. This is a big deal for me. And I'm going to say the rest of the team as well, especially the defense, Dallas Turner, Jonathan Greenard. They get a couple of sacks on Cousins, and the crowd is going to be super amped up. Man, Super Saiyan Sam, they get this win. So you're either 3-10 or 9-4. Week 15, hosting the Chicago Bears, Monday Night Football. Regular Sam, this is easily a loss. Even though you're at home, I would say on neutral field, doesn't matter. Against a team like Chicago that is stacked as hell. Shout out to Ryan Poles. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the trio of receivers that they have, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, they just drafted Rome Odunze, Caleb Williams, if he's still hitting his mark, and Cole Kmet at tight end. I mean, it's regular Sam has no chance. Super Saiyan Sam is the leader that this team needs. They don't have any sort of hangover after a big win against Atlanta the week before. You're either 3-11 or 10-4 at this point. 3 games left. Week 16 at Seattle. I'm going to chalk this up to a loss either way. That stadium, you're going up against 12 if you include the fans. It's going to be loud as hell. A lot of mistakes, I would say, are going to be made, not just by the quarterback, but I think I could see a couple of fumbles easily as well. You're 3-12 or you're 10-5. Week 17, hosting the Green Bay Packers. Versus regular Sam, the Vikings get swept this year by Green Bay. Even against Super Saiyan Sam, the Packers, I think they're going to be in the playoff race, super hungry, just like the Vikings, fighting for seeding in the NFC. But I think because of that power struggle, you're going to have the split. So you're either 3-13 or 10-6. And then the final game of the regular season, Week 18 at Detroit. They got the win earlier. The Vikings did with Super Saiyan Sam against Detroit in Week 7. So I should go with the split. And the Lions, they're legit. They swept this last year after all with Nick Mullins as our quarterback. Who do you think you are? We're not playing Nick Mullins anymore. This is Super Saiyan Sam. Just stomps on the Lions, he's 2017 Case Keenum. He's winning all these games that he's not supposed to. The Vikings, just off of Disney magic hope sort of crap, the Vikings win. Regular Sam, they lose. So they're either going to go, my official projection for 2024, depends on Sam Darnold, they either go 3-14 or 11-6. Your thoughts in the comments section below.